Welcome back everybody, I hope you're having a beautiful day today and I hope you're ready for what we're going to read today. It's a brand new day today and I've got a brand new episode full of concerning stuff to read. It's going to be a fun time and I hope you guys enjoy. Am I the a-hole for exposing my boyfriend and my stepsister's affair and pregnancy? Oh god. Hey everybody, I'm really struggling with this situation and I do need some perspective. Here's the story. I, female 23, have been dating my boyfriend Jake, male 25, for 3 years now. We were really happy, or so I thought. We even talked about moving in together and starting a family someday. I thought he was the one. About 6 months ago, my mum remarried and I got a new stepsister, Laura, female 21. Laura and I didn't grow up together, but we tried to bond and build a relationship. She's fun and outgoing, so we started to hang out more, and she became part of my friend circle, which included Jake. Everything seemed fine until a few weeks ago. I noticed Jake acting strange. He was more secretive with his phone and started coming up with more excuses to not hang out as much. I chalked it up to stress from work at first. Then last week I was at my mum's house for a family dinner. Laura wasn't feeling well and ended up leaving the table to lie down. My mum asked me to go check on her, so I went to her room. That's when I saw Jake's jacket on her chair. My heart sank, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Later that night I confronted Jake, and after a lot of deflecting and denial, he finally admitted that he'd been seeing Laura behind my back for the past 2 months. He begged me for forgiveness and claimed that it was just a mistake, but that wasn't the worst part. Laura came over the next day looking distraught. She confessed that she's pregnant and that Jake's the father. She said that she didn't mean for this to happen and that she was sorry. I was so devastated and furious. I told both of them they betrayed me in the worst possible way. My mum's heartbroken too, torn between her daughter and her stepdaughter. Here's where I might be the a-hole. OP, I don't know if you could ever be the a-hole in this situation. In my anger, I exposed everything on social media. I posted about their affair and the pregnancy, tagging them both. The fallout has been massive. My friends and family are in shock and Jake and Laura are being shunned and harassed online. They're begging me to take the post down, saying that I've ruined their lives. My mum thinks that I went too far and should have handled it privately. So am I the a-hole for exposing their affair and pregnancy publicly? I feel like they deserve to be called out for their betrayal, but now I'm second guessing my actions. I just don't know what to do. Thank you for reading and for any advice you can give. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. The audacity for them to say that you've ruined their life, as if they didn't ruin your life. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm so sorry, OP. Yeah, the top comment, a 2-month affair and a pregnancy doesn't count as a mistake. Yeah, and the comment under that, oh, I didn't mean for it to happen, kills me every time. If she really meant it, she wouldn't have slept with him. I'm not saying the fault is all hers, but the sister is the one to say that she didn't mean for it to happen. Yeah, the comment under that, she didn't mean for it to be discovered. 100%. Oh, it was such a mistake, I didn't mean for it to happen. The second top comment says, not the a-hole, and I'd sincerely reconsider the relationship that you have with your mum. She raised you and is between you and your 6-month stepdaughter. She can get out of here. And the comment under that says, this is what stood out to me the most. Mum being torn? No, mum should have your back. Not only did they betray you, but now your mum wants you to protect their reputation and said that you've gone too far. Also, what does taking down the post even do now? Everybody knows now. It's not like that information's going to be forgotten or something. She's pregnant. You didn't ruin their lives. They did when they chose to have a 2-month affair. An affair's not a mistake, it's a choice. It's calculated and planned, not the a-hole. The only a-holes here are your stepsister, your God-willing ex-boyfriend, and your mum. Add to add, how else were you supposed to handle it? Stay quiet and suck it up while watching them play the new family with the new baby? I get the baby complicates things and they shouldn't be punished, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences to your stepsisters and your ex-boyfriend's actions. Them being outed and held accountable for the pain they caused is a consequence. Personally, I'd go no contact with stepsister and ex, and low contact with mum at the very least, if she doesn't have your back. Oh yeah, definitely OP. I'd never speak to them again. And you shouldn't, really. And also this one, no, not the a-hole. They messed around and they found out. They deserve what they get. And honestly, if you hadn't blasted them publicly, they would have come up with some BS story to try to make themselves look good or excuse their actions, and you would have very likely been thrown under the bus to push that narrative. Your mum should be supporting you, period. She's not being a good mum to you. Tell her that. Yeah, and this comment too, saying that I've ruined their life. No, they did all of that on their own with their selfish actions. So your boyfriend said it was a mistake. Now there's a baby. Is it still one? Or are they together now? And sorry, but your mum's an a-hole if she isn't sure who's in the wrong here. Firstly, you're her biological daughter who was wronged. Why would she support your stepsister, not the a-hole? Yeah, I feel so bad for you, OP. Like, yeah, talk about betrayal. They're awful though, OP, and you don't need them. But that still doesn't make it any less sad. And yeah, that's such a wild attitude from your mum, OP. Like, they go and do the most disgusting thing thing ever. And what, you're meant to just be like, oh, okay, and put up with it or something and pretend it didn't happen? Get out of here. You don't get to do awful stuff like that and then get away with it. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole, they messed up big time and they deserve the consequences. Yeah, they do deserve the consequences. Yeah, you're completely not the a-hole, OP. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for not sharing my only plate with a pregnant woman? I recently found out that I have a gluten allergy, which explains all of my stomach pains and aches that I've had while trying to eat anything my whole life. Since finding out about the allergy, I've been making sure to avoid foods that contain even trace amounts of gluten, because even a small amount causes indigestion and in some cases even vomiting. I was invited out to breakfast with some of my friends and I let them know of the allergy so that we could pick somewhere that actually had food that I could eat. The place that we settled on is a really high-end breakfast restaurant that has a whole separate kitchen, or at least a section of the kitchen for preparing food without any gluten in it, which was a lifesaver since had that not been the case, I would have needed to skip the restaurant entirely. Included in my friends were a couple who recently got pregnant. We can call them Emma and Via. Via's the one who's pregnant and said that she wouldn't be having much because she said that she wasn't feeling very well due to the morning sickness. Everybody understood and offered to let her just have a few bites off their plate so that she could still have something nice, even if it was just a little. I didn't agree to this though, since if they were going to be sharing with each other, I couldn't take part. I explained me not feeling okay sharing since I'd just be giving food without getting any back, and all of my friends seemed to completely understand, as well as agree that that was fair. When the food came out, everybody was sharing and having a good time. Via asked if she could have a bite of my food, and I politely declined, sharing that I couldn't grab a different bite from anybody else. Via told me that her pregnancy cravings were kicking in, and all that she wanted were a couple of bites, so I should have just given that to her. I told her again I'd already explained that I didn't want to share my food since my food was all I had. Emma told me that I could just give her half and order more food if I wasn't satisfied with the amount left, and I again told them no, the gluten-free options were quite a bit more expensive than what they were eating, and paying for 2 plates just so Via could have half of my food didn't seem fair. Via then told me that just because I was on a diet didn't mean I could be selfish and everybody else had no issues sharing. Oh my god, Via, what do you not understand about this? How many times do they need to be told no? Thankfully, the rest of the people sitting there did help me stand up for myself, and I told Via I'd already explained that I wouldn't be sharing since nobody could share back. While I ordered an egg scramble and some gluten-free pancakes, everybody else had normal pancakes and French toast and avocado toast and other things that I couldn't eat. Via wasn't satisfied with their and my justification to why she couldn't have any of my food. She went on and on about how I'd turned the whole table against her and shamed her for being pregnant and hungry. What? Are you even listening, Via? I told her that if she'd gotten her appetite back, she could always order herself a plate so she didn't need to rely on anybody else sharing their food. Via went off at this and told me about all the things she's needed to pay for in preparation for her and Emma's baby. She told me that I was being selfish and heartless because I didn't want to give her half of my plate. Oh my god, when I can afford to do so. Okay, wait a second. They said that they only wanted a couple of bites and that suddenly turned into being half of their food. That's so wild. It sounds like you actually are hungry, Via, so maybe order some food. I don't feel well, so I'm not gonna eat much, so I'll eat a bite of everybody else's food. And then talks about wanting half of OP's food. Sounds like Via is actually pretty hungry. Maybe Via could order herself some food. This is where I may be the gay hole, because I told Via that she chose to get pregnant and she chose to go through all the issues that come along with it. I didn't choose to have a glucose allergy, and I didn't want to go hungry because she wanted to eat off everybody else for free. Via started ugly crying, and everybody tried to calm her down, but she and Emma ended up just leaving without paying for their portion of the bill. No one blames me since I was right, but Emma sent me a message telling me that I could have just said no and left it at that. Oh my god, OP tried to say no like 5 different times, instead of embarrassing Via in front of all of her friends. I'm starting to feel very guilty. I didn't want either of them to leave. I just wanted her to stop trying to leverage her pregnancy against me as a way to get the only food that I could eat. Am I the a-hole? Edit to add, trying to answer some of the most answered questions. Yeah, Emma did get a plate. She claimed that it was too sweet for Via and that she could grab a less sweet bite off everybody else's plate. The reason that it went from 1 bite to half of my food, which was 1 pancake of my 2, was because she assumed that my food was less sweet due to being gluten-free. I don't think that's the case, but that was just her logic. The group agreed that we wouldn't be spending as much time with either Emma or Via. Ever since getting married, the two of their biatchiness aspects have combined and multiplied. We also did send them a Venmo request for their part of the bill. They've been told they can either pay the bill or they can never come out to eat with us again. I don't understand Via saying, oh, you could have just said no and left it at that. From the sounds of it, OP said no multiple different times. Yeah, the top comment, you did say no immediately after arriving. In fact, you said it several times. Via kept asking and asking after you said no, and the other people jumped in to further explain your no. Via proved that she was there to grift food and not actually pay for any of the things that she grifted off people's plates. She and her partner should not participate in outings like this that they obviously can't afford. They were crocodile tears to distract them from switching and ditching their way out of the restaurant without paying for their food, or contributing to the food that Via grifted off other people's plates. Your very reasonable no, that was a full sentence in and of itself, was not respected, and your response was appropriate, not the a-hole. Yeah, and you also didn't shame her for being pregnant. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. Emma told me that I could just give her half and order more food if I wasn't satisfied with the amount left. Emma can order her own dish. Gluten-free food is often more expensive than regular food. Was she going to be paying you back for the food? Of course not. And to leave without paying for their bill? No, hell no. Yeah, I forgot about that bit. Emma told me that I could just give her half of my food and then order more if I wasn't satisfied. Why the hell should OP have to do that? Oh my god. And I love how it started out being, oh, I'll just have a couple of bites. Like, oh, just a tiny little taste because I don't feel like eating. And that turned into give me half of your food. And yeah, the audacity for Emma to say that to OP. I wouldn't be able to say that to somebody. Like, oh yeah, just give them half of your food. And then if you're still hungry because somebody else ate half of your food, you can just pay for more food. Like, yeah, no thanks. And the comment under that says, I don't want to eat. I'll just scavenge off everybody else. Now I'm hungry. And so since you don't want to share, you have to buy me a plate. Wow, I can't afford to eat out. That's why you should buy my food. Everybody's mean to me, so my partner and I are gonna dine and dash. Your response to Emma should be a Venmo, not the a-hole. Your pregnant friend is really entitled. The comment under that says, am I missing something? Didn't Emma order food? Shouldn't Via's partner have been the one to step up and share her food? Yeah, but because OP was the only person who couldn't share, Via felt like they should have to do it. Yeah, and this comment, not the a-hole, she wasn't taking no for an answer. Yeah, that's the most annoying part about this, how Via said, oh, you could have just said no and left it at that. You didn't take no for an answer. Yeah, no, I don't think you're the a-hole, OP. The next one that we're going to read is called, am I the a-hole for telling my friend that she's not traumatized from somebody else's proposal? I, 20 female, have had 3 close friends in college. Grace, 21 female, Matt, 21 male, and Laura, 21 female. Laura really likes to use mental health terminology. She explores a lot of different labels from therapist influencers online. She was told that she has an anxiety disorder and depression, but that's the only diagnosis that she has been given so far. Recently, she's been exploring autism and ADHD. Matt wanted to propose to Grace. They've been dating for a while. He's been planning the proposal for a couple of weeks, and while the proposal was very intimate between the two of them, I was very involved in scheduling the after proposal event at a restaurant. The specifics of that are irrelevant to the story, but it was so lovely and Grace and Matt seemed really happy. Laura told us that she didn't want to be involved in planning the proposal because it reminded her of her parents' divorce. She said that she might come to the post-engagement party, well, come the day of the engagement, and both Matt and I forget to check in on Laura. I don't think it's Matt's fault at all because he was occupied with far more important stuff, but I do feel a bit guilty about not reminding her. She ended up not coming to the party. The next day she starts posting online some dramatic, for lack of a better word, things about how it was traumatizing to see how little her friends cared about her, and that she'll be updating her followers on her trauma therapy journey. She posts that she's now in a really dark place and she thinks that she has PTSD. For context, I'm pretty sensitive to mentions of trauma and PTSD because I was diagnosed with PTSD by a psychologist in my last year of high school after something that happened in my first. I felt a lot of guilt and shame around this because I spent a lot of time feeling that the thing that happened wasn't bad enough to count. I sometimes still get nightmares and flashbacks, but it's gotten better after therapy. I know that I've got my own issues wrapped up regarding the word, and it does bother me a lot when people seem to throw the term around without understanding their weight, but I also acknowledge that I can't stop the internet from doing its thing. I haven't told any of my college friends about this, so Laura doesn't know. At one point she called me and started explaining how traumatized she is, and I finally snapped and said, "You're not traumatized, stop being dramatic. You just got exactly what you asked for." Now I feel guilty because I feel like it was a little harsh, and she's posting online without my name at least, that one friend that she thought she could rely on to support her is abusive and doesn't understand how being traumatized works. However, I feel like honestly Laura's being very dramatic about an event that's not even about her. I called my mum to see what her opinion is, and she told me that I could have reminded Laura about the party, and while my point is not necessarily wrong, I could have been more sensitive, so now I'm not sure how wrong I am. Oh my god, Laura sounds exhausting. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. And also, why the hell do you have to check on her? As in, like, why did you have to call them to remind them about that? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. That's so frustrating. Like the top comment says, not the a-hole. I can't stand people who throw around psychological terminology with actual meanings to describe just their normal feelings. This person is absolutely creating their own drama, and you want no part of it. Yeah, and the second top comment says, why would anybody need to check in on her on the day of somebody else's proposal? She said that she might come to the after party. It's on her to decide if she'll come. OP, this is a friend who's going to require far too much attention when it comes to the little stuff, making everybody else miserable. Do not apologize. Keep your distance and re-examine examine what kind of friendship you want. Yeah, you're not the a-hole, OP. I don't feel like you said anything out of line. Yeah, also this comment, not the a-hole. She's 100% doing it for attention. Updating her followers on her trauma therapy journey. Does she realize that she's the personification of a stereotype? Yeah, 100%. I didn't want to say it either, but pretty much everything the friend has done here really does seem like they're trying to get attention. And yeah, I can definitely see how that would be frustrating for you, OP. There are some meaner comments like this one. You should have been a lot harsher. She's insufferable and an attention-seeking leech, not the a-hole. She's not worth being a friend to because she isn't a friend. But yeah, I like this comment too. Not the a-hole. Why would you check on Laura? Do you check in on her every day? You let her know when the party and restaurant bit would be. She said that she might not come. Okay, fine. Did she want you to convince her to come? The celebration is not about Laura. She was invited. She can manage her own calendar. You're not a mental health professional, nor are you Laura's mental health care provider. If she needed support and didn't ask, you aren't psychic to know. Laura sounds a bit passive-aggressive. Please stop feeling guilty. You did nothing wrong. If Laura's so convinced that you're an abusive person because you didn't check in on her and then called her on her BS, book her into the school's counselling centre for a few appointments. Your mother's wrong. She sounds like she has the don't rock the boat type of thinking. You had zero indication that Laura would forget the party, nor did you know what Laura expected of you because she waited until you didn't do what you wanted, which was make a big deal over her. Yeah, the post-engagement party wasn't about Laura. She said that she didn't want to be involved in planning the proposal because it reminded her of her parents' divorce, and then you're in the wrong because, what, you didn't remind her that it was gonna happen when she already didn't want to go? How the hell does that make any sense? Yeah, this comment too. She told you that she didn't want to be involved, but then was traumatized because she wasn't involved. It's gonna get a lot worse with this nut before it gets better. Time for some distance. Yeah, that's so wild. I don't really understand how you could be in the wrong, OP. You haven't really done anything, so I don't feel like you should feel bad. The next one that we're gonna read is called, Am I the a-hole for telling her to stop spending $45 on burgers every week? My male 42 sister-in-law 33 recently started selling burgers on Saturdays. She works a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday office job with a good salary, but she recently discovered that she's pregnant with her ex's baby, and he's no longer in the picture, so she's selling burgers for extra income. Now, every Saturday, my wife, 40, buys burgers for our family, 3 kids, 12, 10, and 8. My issue is that my sister-in-law sells every burger for $9, so 5 burgers comes out to $45. The burgers are tasty, don't get me wrong, but she's using my mother-in-law's recipe that my wife also knows, so I don't see why we would spend $45 a week on burgers when my wife can make identical ones at home, and we could spend less money on ingredients. To be clear, technically, we can afford sister-in-law's burgers pretty comfortably. I just don't see why we should when there are cheaper options. I tried to talk about it with my wife, and she said that she mainly buys because she wants to support her sister. I told her it's not our job to support her sister. Besides, as I said, the burgers are tasty, and every weekend they're sold out in a couple of hours, so I don't think losing our 5 burgers would put a dent in her business. Yesterday, I told my wife again that we shouldn't buy any burgers, and she asked me why I cared if she was buying them from her money, not our money. We each have an account and one joint account. I told her it's not about that. I just don't think it's sensible to spend $45 every weekend on burgers when she already knows the recipe. She said that she'll be spending $36 then, because she won't be buying mine anymore if it bothered me so much. That's exactly what she did. She bought burgers for our kids and her, and didn't buy one for me, which okay, anyway, I got a Big Mac for cheaper, so I thought that we were okay, but she's been acting like she's been mad at me since yesterday. I fail to see why she's mad. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, I think so, OP. She obviously wants to do it to support her sister. You also said that she can afford to do it. You also said that it's her money, so she can spend her money however she wants to spend her money. And every single week you're getting a free burger. Why are you upset about that? This didn't need to be an issue. Yeah, like this comment says, you the a-hole for trying to dictate how she spends her own money when, as you said, she can comfortably afford it. I do get where you're coming from, but she's not just making a dumb choice about food just because. She's trying to financially support her struggling sister in a way that doesn't feel like charity. Yeah, that's right, and there's no issue with that. And also, what was OP's suggestion? That his wife makes the burgers instead at home for cheaper? Wait, so let me get this straight. Every week you're getting a burger for free from your wife. She's spending her own money to support her sister that's struggling, and you're upset at her for spending her own money that she can afford, and you think that instead she should stay home and make the burgers herself? Like, come on, at least say that you're gonna make the burgers or something. No, you make them. I don't see this as an issue though. The comment above that one says, so you could have had a free gourmet burger that benefits a family member, but you spent your own money to buy a crappy corporate burger that benefits some billionaire, and somehow you think that you won? Yeah, you the a-hole here. Oh, right, because they bought a Big Mac. Yeah, I don't know, and also, where's the gratitude for the wife paying for the burger every week? The top comment says, you the a-hole. I was gonna say not the a-hole until I got to the part where you say that you guys have separate accounts and a joint account, and she's buying the burgers from her own money. We aren't buying the burgers. She is, from her separate money. Does she micromanage how you spend your money? What if she instead just gave her sister $45 a week from her own money in exchange for no burgers? What business is that of yours? And the comment under that says, call me a ding dong, but even if it's a joint account, the fact that OP said that they can comfortably afford them and that they have no pre-existing beef with the sister-in-law, then just buy them, man. It's a sweet thing to do. Wife doesn't need to cook or clean up, and you can help out sister-in-law without it seeming like charity. Like, damn. The comment under that says, sounds like he doesn't really support her choice to be a single mum. Either that or, like you say, he doesn't really like her. Yeah, I don't know if there is an underlying issue, like maybe they don't like the sister-in-law or something, but still, that doesn't make it any better. No, there's nothing wrong about what your wife's doing, OP. It's a really nice and really generous thing to do, and like the comments are saying, a good way to consistently support her sister without it seeming like a charity or something. And yeah, it's a win-win. You're supporting your sister and you're also getting burgers. Yeah, I don't know, that's a pretty funny thing to get upset about. It seems like a positive, not a negative. Yeah, this comment too, you the yay-hole. Why did you spend money on a Big Mac? You could have made a burger yourself. Yeah, come on. There's a comment that says, you the yay-hole. Say you are the yay-hole without saying you're the yay-hole. It's her sister. $9 for a burger is reasonable, and she does not have to purchase the ingredients and spend the time and make them. And how about you be a big boy and buy the ingredients and make them for your wife and your children? Why is it on her? Did you think for a second before starting to make this an issue and posting it on Reddit? I think you should apologize to your wife and accept that you were wrong and do better. Yeah, this comment too. When my wife can make identical ones at home, are your arms broken? You the gay hole? Yeah, I feel bad for the wife. She's doing something kind for her sister, but no, that has to be made into an issue. No, that's not good. And I feel like we should read one more post. This one's on the Entitled People subreddit. Entitled girl climbs on a Ferrari? No. So walking down the Castro in SF this afternoon, and I saw a Ferrari that had silver glitter paint parked across the street. We stopped to admire the paint job when three girls walked up to the car, and one steps on the trunk and walks up the roof to lay on her stomach while her friends take pictures. Oh my god. My faith in humanity is disappearing. The owner comes out of a shop yelling at her to get off his car. She argued that she's almost done and posed with one arm in the air and one leg up. The owner gets pissed off and starts to charge his car. She rolls off the car and tells him that he needs to chill. Oh, that's so frustrating. The girls start to walk into the restaurant. When the owner goes back in the shop, they come back and she sits all over the hood for pictures. Fortunately, they did no damage, but what the hell, really? Oh, that's unbelievable. I don't know why people feel like they can do that. Or like because somebody has a really expensive supercar or something, that they're allowed to touch it. Get away from it. Oh my god. Leaning on it is frustrating enough. Standing on their Ferrari and then laying on it, that's so messed up. And then has the audacity to tell the owner to chill? How about get the hell off their car? Oh, people are so frustrating. The entitlement is through the roof. And yeah, that's definitely enough for today. I want to end the episode on a good note, so I do have something wholesome to show you guys. We need it after what we've read today. Paige, can I give you something? Yeah, I'd love that. Wait, that's a bookmark? Yeah, so I never lose my page. Oh, that's so cute. Never gonna lose my page. That's adorable. And a pun too. It's cute and it's also a pun. That's incredible. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope it wasn't too terrifying. If you did enjoy it, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section, and also like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And the comment of the day today, goes to It's Oasis. Parent spouts sexist BS. Child calls out their sexist BS. Parent, I don't like your attitude. Yeah, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Like, what are you talking about? You don't like my attitude. Yours is the one that's an issue, mate. Yeah, we read some unbelievable stuff, don't we? And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!